Alright, welcome. Hope everyone's still having a good morning. Our next game is Indivisible by Norimaki Sr. How are you doing this morning, Nami?
I'm doing okay there. Is a mindful thing. I will accept senior as that, but it's really speed run. But that's okay.
Ah, sorry.
It's okay. No, it happens all over the place, and I'm fine. I'm old. I accept it.
Fair. Alright, so once you're ready, we can get this game started.
All right. Well, I won't go too much in this. Just a quick intro of the game. Indivisible is a platform-heavy RPG done by the creator of Skullgirls, Mike Z, and was published by 505 Games. Just came out late last year, and it's quite fun. But we'll let the game speak for itself. So go ahead and start this run in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so there's a lot of beautiful art in this game. Studio Trigger, one of the favorite anime studios out there, did a lot of the animations for this particular game. And immediately you're just thrust right into this beautiful fight against something that looks like we're not doing a lot of damage to. That doesn't look like it's going to go too well. Ooh, that's not good, actually. Well, I don't know if I'm going to win this right out of the gate. That's never a good start. Oh yeah, this is really not good. Okay, that's fine. I got noob tube. Let's use noob tube. Yeah, let's do that. Hopefully this does something good. That doesn't look good either. Just kidding. This is kind of scripted in a way. So it kind of sets the story at the beginning, and then we just jump 16 years into the future, and we get introduced to our actual main character of the game, Ajna. She's a young 16-year-old girl coming into her own, living in this beautiful, peaceful village. And it's time to blow off training, except for one thing. She actually does like training. So we're going to just head to our nice little training ground. And the movement in this game, very much like Mega Man X, at least in the beginning here, where I've got to do some rhythmic mashing to keep the dash going very quickly. It gets really tiring, but fortunately, eventually I will get a break from having to do that. But in the meantime, this is our primary source of movement. All right, so training grounds.
A new sparring partner, eh?
You're going to have to basically avoid getting slapped by Dad here. This is our father. And he's teaching us that the best offense is a good defense. And as long as I am doing this proper and getting those blue flashes, that means that I'm timing it properly. If I don't, I get a pink one. And it's basically just teaching you how to defend yourself in battle. You'll notice that the battle system does seem to harken towards an older game for the PlayStation called Valkyrie Profile. Huge inspiration for the battle system in this game, but because Mike Z, creator of Skullgirls, does indeed enjoy his Skullgirls game, there's a lot of fighting mechanics that kind of go into this too. So combos, things like that, and we'll be exploiting that and using that as we go. Things aren't good in our happy village anymore. We've been invaded, and Dad isn't looking too good. This jerk killed our father. So I'm gonna basically go through a little bit of a pattern here to try to get this to line up as best as I can to end this properly. And the main thing that I'm looking for is at the end of this fight, I need him to have these stone charges that he's creating for himself, because they actually will carry over here very shortly. But in the meantime, just gotta kind of punch him, kick him in the midsection, give him a couple of knee chops, because knees are like a vulnerable spot, I guess. I don't know about you, but I don't like a good shot to the knee. Wow, you are being super aggressive, Dar. This actually lines up pretty good. Nice. So Dar is down and taken care of. We go through the story, though. He basically gets absorbed into our head for some reason. We have no clue why, but he's just kind of there. He killed our father. We're stuck with him in our head now. And that little area that you just saw there is basically Ashna's inner realm, where people just kind of like to hang out when they're not in battle at this point. But the game's going to teach us really quick, hey, these people can come out and help. And that's why I carried the stone charges over, so I could just basically nail that guy as soon as Dar comes into play. Dar is trying to be a good boy, but he's not really. And we hate his guts for killing our father, obviously. All right, so, again, beautiful backgrounds. Love the music here. We're just going to try to blow through this as quickly as possible. And we're going to meet our next good friend. We absorbed that one too. Rip. Well, our head's going to start getting very crowded very quickly, it looks like. But Rosmi is actually best girl. Love her a lot. Very great dialogue. I encourage you to play the game yourself to get a good feel of exactly how good Rosmi really is from a dialogue perspective and character perspective. But we're picking up this nice, beautiful weapon called the axe. This belonged to our mother, who has been long dead, basically since we were born, as the story says. So we've always wanted to use it, just hadn't been able to before. But this soldier had stolen it from the village getting ransacked, and we just found this guy dead. And now we're going to be forced into a nice little fight here. Try to handle this guy as quickly as possible. And this flashing bar at the top there, it's our itty charges. These are like the key points of the game. When we use those charges in here, we do some powerful attacks like that. And we're going to be exploiting a lot of those as much as we can throughout the run. Nice jugglage. No. And then just perfect blocking wherever I can to mitigate my damage, because we are going to be getting a lot of HP in this game. This game is, even though there is a level system and stuff, I don't think that the levels really matter all that much, as long as you're able to deal with a lot of the damage mitigation. Should never die, but some of these attacks are a little tricky. Don't worry about those gems. We're going to be picking up quite a few of them, but they are going to be rather important. We just kind of get an introduction there from those two. Those two did join us in our head as well, and they're saying, you know, if you pick up enough of these, we'll give you some power-ups. And I am definitely going to be picking up a significant number of these, as I'm going to be skipping fights here. So this is really tricky platforming in some cases. If I get a fight here, it's going to be really annoying. Okay, I jumped first, but sure game. There we go. Trying to avoid these fights because they're time consuming. I definitely can restart from here. I'm going to skip this save point now because I don't think it's necessary anymore. That's one of the harder tricks, but we got it first try. Let's go, saving time. And now we're just going to smooth platform our way out of here. All right. Making our way up here pretty quickly. Got one more fight to skip, and then we get into our first boss. Good stuff. All right, good Oshawott ruins. Not gonna lie here. I'm gonna go out of my way just a little bit here. Pick up our next ring cell. Right now, I need basically 5 for my first upgrade, and we'll be getting that here very shortly when we get into our next segment. But first, we got. Hope nobody has a problem with spooters, by the way, because there's gonna be a few of them here. Well, at least one really big one. So there's been rumors of this boss or like monster that eats people and uses body parts as part of its body. As you can see, this guy's got an arm with a bow, because that's how spiders work apparently. All right, so I'm going to be trying to push this guy through a few phases as quickly as I possibly can. Using some down and up attacks basically to kind of keep this guy juggled, and then just progress him through these phases as quickly as I possibly can to get this done. But at the very end, I've got a very important like setup that I need to do in order to avoid about, I don't know, 30-40 seconds of time, and that's not a good start. Like, my blocking is off just a little bit. That's fine. Dar's gonna get some more stone charges then. And we're not gonna get through this first phase as quickly as I would like to, but it's okay. Wow, my blocking is terrible.
I'll bury you. It's over.
There we go. All right, knocked out a first phase. He basically just goes up to do that, tries to smash it, so it's more of the same basically here. Is that enough? That is not it. Oh, it is enough. Okay. I wasn't sure I got enough itty charge there in order to get one more big attack out of Dar here. There we go. Now my blocking's getting in there. Let's go. All right, so just a lot more of the same. He does start to switch up his attacks a little bit. It's really annoying because he's got one real attack that I hate, which is the poison spit. And that one is really hard to time. This phase is going pretty quickly. He should be changing up his plan here very shortly. Oops, that was early. All right. We'll just push him deep into the next phase then. That's fine. Just means I got to be very cognizant of that to get my lineup for poison skip here. So spider wrangling first. Oh, no, you don't. Dang it. Wow, I'm really bad today. That is a lot of spiders, my friend. All right, so I got to be very careful about how I do my damage here because I'm trying to get his HP bar to a specific spot. And if I go over that, then I'm going to basically have to deal with another phase that I'd rather not see here. So I'm going to be taking my sweet time with my damage. That's going to be really close. And I can't die here, by the way. If I die, anyone falls, I'm going to have to waste even more time. Get some extra charges here. Okay. That should be good. All right, here we go. Going in. If I do this right, we'll skip an entire phase here, so. Got him. Nice. We just skipped a phase where it goes back off screen, spits a lot of poison at us from the top, and we have to wait for that entire thing to go before we can kill it. So, yay, we skipped it, and I saved like 30 seconds on that split because my PB doesn't have poison skip. Good stuff. All right, so now that we've gotten out of the ruins, we're running into more of the soldiers that are heading back to their main base. Dar being the good soldiers, like, put this girl under arrest. So, of course, the soldiers are complying because he's kind of their commander, at least in the field here. The problem is, apparently, they don't like him much. He got arrested, too. And they want us to see that there's things, and they didn't really search us. Well, they did search us for weapons, but Ajna kind of keeps her weapons in her head. So, really hard to take a weapon when it's stored in somebody's head, right? That's just kind of rule of thumb. So these soldiers obviously are like, oh, prisoners escaping. A typical trope. We're going to bounce our way out of here really quick. I'm going to get some more stone charges. I'm going to need them shortly here. This guy isn't going to last long anyway. Oh, we're early today on these. So Ginseng, who we picked up in the forest, joins us after we kind of find all these resurrection lilies and now is part of our party. We discover, though, that this fortress is actually really bad this morning. There we go. Way up in the air. And I just basically wanted to test how high in the air it was. Pretty high, I'd have to say. So now we're going to have to figure out. We know that Ravanovar's here. This is the main guy behind everything. And we want to get our revenge, obviously, because it's his fault that our father is dead. In the meantime, though, we just got our first amount of, like, ring cell charges that we need. And now we're going to use that to power up a little bit. So you don't really see any instant changes right now. But we are a little bit more powerful. And you'll see it the next time we actually get into a fight. Why is the axe not being agreeable with me today? Axe is the final boss.
Hey.
All right, so we're finding that there's other prisoners here. And this guy is asking for our help to be released. Hey, good. The elite soldier there doing his job. Sometimes he can be a little bit of a roadblock, but we got by him no problem. And now we're just going to keep going through this flying fortress and try to determine, how do we get to Ravanovar? How do we extract our revenge? I got a beautiful axe with his name on it. But first, let's see. This guy has promised to help us if we free him, so let's free him. He's not happy about getting sucked into the head either, but he's decided, you know what? I will help you out.
They'll quiver in fear. Get it?
Good, we got the pun. This run is blessed. Also, we get the bow. The biggest meme in the speedrun community, the bow. Also, best weapon. Which actually belongs to him, but we're allowed to use it. He's like, I will be more than happy to show you how this thing works. It'll only take you a few short years to learn it. And a few short years later... Wow. Exactly. Ajna knows how good she is. Wow. And we're going to move on. All right, so this is a fun little skip right here. Very easy to pull off, too. For a while, I thought that we were stuck having to deal with this guy. But nope, if you just do that, you can skip that fight entirely. If you touch him, you do end up in a fight. So let's go, trusty axe. Get us access to the elevator. No. Axes apparently don't work for calling elevators, so we're gonna have to find another way to go. Boy, there you go. Fire down here. Oops. Didn't mean to catch that ledge, but it's fine. Firing down saves just a little bit of a pause that happens when you get in front of that guy, which is basically just showing you that those things do not like anybody coming up in front of their face.
I'll bury you. It's over. Level up.
All right, so we got this fight now mandatory. Didn't used to be in prior patches, but you know, they decided that
Nice try.
that's fine. Come on, block, please. Thank you. Problem is, this fight can drag out long time if you let it. Good stuff. All right, no problem there, but now we got this other one coming up, and I'm in a good setup here, so we're just going to immediately pound this Bellu to the ground. Put him up in the air, jump one for some nice itty recharge, do it again. Have another one, my friend, and get out of here. Boy, these soldiers aren't very strong if a 16-year-old girl is just pounding them to the dirt like this. We find there's also another prisoner here. We're not going to worry about that guy. He can chill there. He looks stout. He looks tough. No big deal. He'll be fine. In the meantime, we're going to keep just going through this nice ventilation system here. Get this fight. Thank you. Find more shields, so we're gonna have to go around again. And then finally we find the power core of this entire place. Now, you know, against our better judgment, we think that smashing this is our only way of getting that elevator to work. Dar certainly doesn't agree with our plan, but he's gonna have to go along with it because he has no choice. Now we gotta break this jerk shield. Start smacking him into the ground as well. About half his health bar gone in the first round. That's not terrible. We can make this work. Definitely wanted to get another charge here on good old Dar. One more round, this guy's going to be toast. He did not cancel his own attack. He tends to like to do that sometimes, which is really funny. There it is. Just canceling attacks by a little bit more game. Done. All right, nice. Moving forward. Sorry about that. Had to focus just a little bit on the end there. All right, now that we've taken this guy out, we're able to smash the power system here. That's not a good thing. Alarms are blazing now, and the reason for that, jump burst. Oh, go, Ajna. Okay. Ooh, that was scary. I do. Just really quick, let me point out the jump physics have changed because this place is indeed falling. But yes, please go ahead for the donation.
We have a donation from Anonymous saying, just donate for a good cause and cheering on Norimaki. Go, Nori, go!
Thank you so much for supporting the OI Foundation. Much appreciated. So it's funny that your jump physics don't carry over when you're indoors. It's only when it's outside. So it's basically I would say it's a factor of the wind blowing more than anything else. Although it would be things a lot more interesting to have that additional height going through the interior of this place. We are bouncing around, doing some things here. Again, we just want to get to that elevator. It's really all we care about. Nobody cares that this thing is falling to the ground, and we're all in it. Again, the only thing that really matters, revenge. So Ajna learns how elevators work finally. You don't just smack them open. And now we meet our good boy, Mr. Palindrome himself, Ravanavar. She just wants that vengeance, so let's get some vengeance. Pretty much same as usual. Okay, didn't quite get another build there, but he doesn't really care about a lot of what anyone wants, you know, like he doesn't really know who Dar is, even though Dar is basically like, I'm your newest lieutenant. It's like, yeah, I don't really know who you are, don't really care. And wants to test our power. And he's actually, we kind of find out he's been kidnapping a lot of people that display a wide amount of power and everything for his own nefarious needs. He's basically looking to recreate the world, and these people that he's been picking up are an avenue towards that. Holy cow, that's aggressive, boys. Never seen them double up like that, trying to get us there. But we're just gonna try to handle his... Well, I got the good block on one person. Let's go. Alright, here we go. Boom, boom. Get out of here. I probably should have saved that for the next phase. It's fine. Oh wow, he got the attack off. Good blocking. Yeah, he tends to do that from that platform. Let him. He's gonna introduce a new phase here. He's got a little bit of a shield going on now. I don't really care about it. Ginseng is good about clearing shields. I'm gonna give him a preview of what he's got in store for him very shortly. Oh, right into a cutscene, huh? Oh, perfect block that. Take that, you jerk. It's over. Oof. That was really bad. But I'll give him a little bit more. It's over. Yes. Wow, you are giving me all the perfect block attacks. I'm really annoyed by this, Ravanavar. All right, one more small round here. He'll be done. Wow, you are being a real jerk, Ravanavar, I swear. You know what? I'm going to save that. All right, little slow on that fight, but we got through it. So we take him out, and he's like, hey, if you want to know more about what I'm about and what's going on, you need to follow me. We're just like, okay, this thing's falling anyway. We may as well jump off. Maybe we'll get saved by a giant bird. And, well, what do you know? We got saved by a giant bird. Everybody in her head, by the way, basically thinks that Ajna is completely insane. They might not be wrong about that. They might not be wrong about that at all. I am going to start smacking this guy because he has been really annoying lately. Same thing here. So in order to get through here quickly, we're just going to need to skip more fights. Some of these positions of these guys require a little different method than what we've seen up to this point. Just because they are on a higher ground. You never challenge anybody on the high ground, right, Anakin? Which gets to be really annoying if you want to try to get past them and then these guys decide to body you a little bit. So you can take damage outside of battle, and it does have an impact. But in the meantime, I'm going to be doing some severe platforming now. This is where the platforming in this game really starts to pick up. And Mount Sumeru basically is where we've gone. Kushi and Zebei both are protectors of this area, and they're like, we shouldn't be here, but they don't really have a choice since they know that Ravanavar basically came here, and that could portend some bad things, so they're going to do their job and come along with us like they should to get through here. That was a good early one. So I'm just basically going to be doing some pretty intricate platforming, trying to avoid these fights. Okay, good. He didn't smack me. There's a tricky one for you. Saves just one extra cycle using these blocks, which you could get another one up there, but there's really no point when you can just do that. Also, bad hair day. If you ever get in one of those fights, not fun. Really want to avoid that if you can. I think a lot of people during quarantine probably have hairdos that look like that about now. Our next... shoot over that guy because he can get in the way and it's really annoying. Problem. Really smooth Sumeru 1 so far, not gonna lie. But that can change really quickly, so let's just hope for the best here. There we go. Here's a fun little skip. Nice. Just saves an extra cycle of having to hit that block again to get those blocks to respawn because they don't last very long. Ooh, take that, jerk. Nice. I've got full health, so I'm gonna try the damage boost strat here for this ring soul. Oh, nope. Missed it. We hecked it. Yeah, we hecked it. Oh, well, I tried. Right, now we'll do it as intended, unfortunately. You can save a little bit of time there by being able to damage off of those spikes and then have a recovery go across over there to get it, but didn't quite get it to work. It's fine. No big deal. But I definitely need that ring cell. Boom. One thing I'll talk about with Ajna is sometimes she likes to lose momentum on a whim. I'm trying to be very cognizant of that because it's most annoying when you're like committed to doing a specific part of platforming and then Ajna just goes as slow as molasses in movement and it completely throws off everything. But it's time to get some revenge. We take his head, which obviously not very good because now we're like Genova here. He has been kind of a disgusting monster this entire time. Go figure. As if bad guys aren't already disgusting monsters. Yes, let's go. All right, so we're basically just giving him more of exactly what he got in his flying fortress. And the one thing I want to see happen here, and he's not doing it, is some AoE attacks. He has kind of a party-wide attack that I want to see him do. And right now he's being pretty stingy. But whatever, we'll just deal with it best we can. I'm just going to use this as a chance to... There it is. The reason I want that party-wide attack is it fills up my itty bar as long as I'm basically blocking. So very important that we get that because it just speeds things up so much when I can just have Dar come in and be the boy. Smack him really good with this big stick here. Boom! That's right, buddy. How's that health bar treating you? No? Not good, huh? After certain amounts or parts of his hit bar, he will kick us out and we move on to the next phase. So we have to track him down again, basically. And we're going to do some Super Mario Brothers dodging of... Oh, shoot. I might have delayed too long there. No, we're good. Oh, we did delay too long there. Oh. Well, as much as I would like to do optimal damage boosting off of those fireballs, that was not the place to do it. It's fine. Let's go. But
Well fought, young.
yeah, you almost had to try. Oh, he gave me the good start. There we go. This will be a quick phase then, since he wanted to be nice. So I can't do damage to him until I get rid of like all those heads that comprise his neck. It's much like that phase that he had in the Flying Fortress with the faces floating around him. Acts as a shield and he takes no damage until you get rid of those. So it's good to see him like basically forcing it or giving me the good stuff by giving me an itty charge, doing that AoE attack. That's what I would love to see him do every time, but you know, it just never always works out that way. RNG being RNG. Right. So here we go with some damage boosting potentially. Oh, darn it. I was hoping to skip a little bit there. But nope, not today. It's okay, no big deal. Hey, we didn't get hit in the face with fireball. Didn't get tagged there quite a bit. Okay, one more big punch in the face. Oh, that was a really bad block, Nori. There we go. Fortunately, he didn't set us up for the nice quick round here. That's fine. Make it work. Just hit him with these. Oh my goodness. Quit being stingy, Ravanavar. Trying to wait for Dar to get a charge here. There we go. I'll only get the one hit, unfortunately, this round, but will be set up when Dar gets his stuff. So you'll notice when you use supers. Oh, never mind. He's gonna give Dar some actual moves. Thank you, Ravanavar. You're nice. You'll notice after they use the super, the character you used on tends to have a bit of a cooldown on being able to perform future actions. So whenever they get attacked like that, however, they do get some of their moves back, which is nice. So Ravanavar treated me pretty good there at the end. At any rate, he's like, congratulations, you fell into my hands. This is exactly where I needed you to be and where I wanted you to be. You're going to help me release this being upon the world. And he pushes our anger. And yeah, we basically do exactly what he wants us to do. And unfortunately, we've now unleashed Kala. who is the destroyer and creator of worlds. She's now free, and that means bad things for Earth because, or like our world, because she's not exactly happy with the way it does. Tends to do this often. Any rate, after 3 days of resting, we wake up here in this cave with the beautiful Tirani. She's been nursing us to health, and we're just finding a way out of here, but we're kind of stuck by a sandstorm. I need to actually try to leave. There we go. So we're wondering, you know, exactly how it is. Tirani's like, you know what? I'm going to join you, and I'm going to help you. And we're going to get our first magical girl transformation. That's what I basically call it. Unfortunately, I skipped the cutscene for it. But the best part about this is I get a break from rhythmic mashing. Finally, I get a free hand for a minute. Which is nice. This particular form, as she gets more and more powerful, and you'll notice our Indie bar went from 1 to 3. It becomes very important because now we can do some more powerful attacks, or we have like the range of doing more attacks. And Ashna gets a little bit stronger as she grows, which is always a good thing. In the meantime, we've got to get out of this desert. This charge allows us to run against the wind. And we're able to run through rocks that are blocking our way. And yes, believe it or not, you can ask the question, and yes, you can. Ouch, bodied from behind by a wolf. Yes, you could actually work your way into that sandstorm, but the first moment that you run into a block, you're stuck until you actually go through the cutscene to get the change, because you can't break blocks as normal Ajna, which is unfortunate. But this game is very solidly programmed, by the way. I mean, you can get out of bounds in this game, but you can't get back in bounds once you do, because it's all predicated on, you know, having a monster to be able to clip through the walls, and then there's no monsters out of bounds. Also, story triggers are very solid in this game. You're not able to skip a lot of content. If you do try to skip it, you tend to get pretty much stuck and laughed at by the game, which is funny. So this game is extremely solid when it comes to doing the usual speedrun trickery. But that's fine. I kind of enjoy the fact that I don't have to skip some of the fun platforming segments. Really good. All right, so at any rate, we're moving on. We come across somebody who's obviously very dehydrated. Remember to stay hydrated, folks. Have a drink of water. Thank you, Tirani. I don't know anybody who has more moisturized hair than Tirani does, so it's really good to have. She's also best mom. I don't want Tirani, actually. I want Rosmi. There we go. So I'm actually going to bring her right into the party. She's very, 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 very useful in this particular part. She's actually got quite a few uses throughout the run. Mainly, though, for this part, I'm just going to use her for... Oh, gosh, I almost got that fight. Okay, that was scary. Oh, platforming in here is a little tricky. Oh, no. And I didn't get the backup either. Oh, I'm going to lose some time here. I need that ring soul. Like, it's absolutely imperative I get that one, because I don't know of another one en route that's going to be quick enough for me to get. So we just have to backtrack a little bit. What's scary about this is I have no idea where the monster is. Okay, good. We avoided the fight. That was the important thing. If I have to do it that way, it's super scary and super sketchy, but we got through it. Okay, well, unfortunate time loss, but no big deal. We'll make the best out of it. Alright, so we're going through these ruins here. I don't really have a lot to say about them. They kind of just are what they are. We're going to be pushing our way through and wondering, like, what the heck is this giant worm, if I can... Use it, tail. Thank you. You won't get to see it yet, but we'll see it here shortly. And this thing is blocking our path, so we have to constantly kind of just give it a poke in the butt there to get it to move forward. And beyond that, it's just going to be a lot of platforming. So go ahead there, host, if you've got any donations to read or want to plug what we're here for. I am more than amicable to let you do so.
Awesome. I do. I have two donations. I have one donation from Move Plays with a no comment, and I also have a $5 donation from 8-Bit Mischievous saying, dropping a donor for a cause and to give a big ups to my boy Norimaki. Thanks for the power move and get that world record.
I don't think we're going to get a world record today based on my play 8-Bit, but you know, I'll do my best here. We can still have some other things happen, but 8-Bit's our kind of community leader in the Discord. He owns the Discord basically and kind of is our biggest cheerleader. Also just recently took the world record in cap percent. So it's a little mini IL category we have for this game involving a super boss that exists. We'll not be seeing that unfortunately today, but... Alright, so again, it's just a lot of puzzling going on here. You can see the arrow comes into use to use these wind drafts to kind of get the arrows to fly towards their intended targets. You know, it wasn't terrible as it goes. Alright, again, more just platforming. Don't really have a lot to say. I'm going to be grabbing some of these ring souls that are really nice and close. Again, my next upgrade doesn't come until I get 20 of them, so we've got a ways to go. I have to make sure that I am grabbing all of these as necessary, while avoiding the fights with these most annoying doggos. I mean, any and all fights are kind of annoying, but those dogs are especially terrible because they like to basically summon more of their kind, and they do it en masse, and then the fight itself is pretty chaotic when they get going. You don't really want to deal with them if you can avoid it. Great. Chillax sliding, by the way, shout outs to that. Austin is the most casual slider I think I've ever seen in my entire life. We're getting closer to the end of this particular segment here. We just got to loop all the way back to where we started, more or less. Again, it's just all because of this stupid sandworm blocking our way, keeping us from being able to progress where we want to go. Oh, almost be done with it. I'm gonna do a little tricky stuff here. Oh gosh, that's really... The reason I'm jumping off the wall here is it just speeds it up if you can get a nice clear line there instead of like rubbing up against the ceiling. Saves just a smidge amount of time, but hey, every little bit matters. Hey, almost done. Watch out for the doggo. Bad doggo. Get up there, Ajna. Thank you. Alright, one last little tail bob. That worm doesn't sound like it's happy. I guess after being shot in the rear end a few times, it'll probably be a little miffed as well. Meanwhile, this mage that's with him, that's really who we're after, because it's kind of his fault that this worm is in our way to begin with. So I think the best way to deal with this guy, kill it with fire. Rosni's power level 3 is so freaking based at this point in the game. A lot of people may not even realize it exists, but Rosni loves her fire, and she uses it at the best way, and I hate that attack where you stop it. Not a big fan of this one either, but I'll make do with that one by comparison. Alright, Kadira. Wow, that was long range. Interesting. This guy is kind of annoying. As you can see, this fight's basically him just going back and forth in the arena. He occasionally calls in the sandworm to kind of give us damage. You really don't want to be underneath it either. When he goes, it's really annoying. I'm gonna use the delay of attack just a little bit to allow an extra chance of juggling for this guy, so that I can generate a lot more itty. You stop with that attack, Unt, please. I ain't having it, my friend. Oh, good juggle. He doesn't have a move yet. Alright, we'll just have to get it on this one then. My pattern's off just a little bit with this guy. Not exactly getting what I want. But he's going to just try the way he needs to. I just want it early. Alright, we finally got a block there. Jeez. And then he gets me again. He caught me napping, as per usual. This guy is so terrible. He's really, really rude about his timing on things. Like, when he just wants to spam that attack, he's going to spam that attack, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's kind of how it ends up going. I'm gonna leave one attack here on Rosby in case I get an opportunity. I might here shortly. Oh, that's early. Oh, nope, it still hit him. Whew. All right, he no thing. It's no big deal. We did lose some time, unfortunately, with that ring cell mishap early on, but not bad. Not bad. Unskippable cutscene, by the way. Game has a couple of these. This is just this guy being an idiot. He loses control of his sandworm when we take out his power, and it decides it wants lunch. And there ain't no dinner like a good dinner. That's what I say. So we finally get our way out. The worm basically gives us our exit, and we're finally like, yay, we can get the heck out of this desert. We're very, very happy about this. So let's finish here and move on to our next wonderful destination. Anything we're looking for right now is a way to get back to Samara. We know that we've unleashed this thing. We want to stop it, but we have no easy path to get back there. And the recommendation by the party is let's go to Port Marifa to get ourselves a boat, and then we should be able to get there that way. So let's do that. What's wrong, 8-Bit? You don't enjoy the puns? Also, I appreciate everyone being here to watch this beautiful game and to support a good cause. Welcome to Port Marifa, is where we like to call it Backer Town. A lot of people back this game, myself included. There are a number of people that hit a tier that actually got themselves a little bit of a character. There's also some throwback character from other games and whatnot. We find that this town is besieged, however. We're not very welcome here. But as long as we behave ourselves and not get in trouble, the local military, known from the Iron Kingdom, will not won't give us any trouble, basically. We're not the type to really cause trouble, right? I mean, we just want a boat. The problem is we're going to find out very shortly. The Iron Kingdom has got a blockade on this. They have come in to invade and take over this plot of land as they start their spam of world domination. Ever since Kala got loose, they've decided they're the ones that will be the ones to lead everyone through the future and get them out. Also, that particular dialogue sequence, you can't use the normal skip method, so I had to mash through text there. A couple of spots where that happens, unsure as to why, but no big deal. But we find out, okay, maybe you should go to this giant tower of wisdom that you passed when you came in all the way to the docks. So we're like, okay, maybe we can get some good advice here. Excellent dialogue string here, right, by the way. Rosmi has her good fun with Ajna. We meet Ongwu. You might recognize her from the opening cut sequence when we were in that fight. And Ongwu is basically testing us and confirming that apparently our power matches that of the being that we now want to stop. Apparently she is at least part of Kala or has some tie to Kala. And that's not good, because obviously there's some people that aren't too happy with that as a prospect. I mean, already Zabay isn't very happy with us for having unleashed the greatest threat to life as we know it. At this point, Dar, obviously nobody likes him because everyone knows, hey, you killed Ajna's father. It's an interesting family dynamic going with this, but next weapon, we get the spear. And we also get a pirate. Yes, pirate. Ooh, I need to change party. So I'm going to bring in Tirani for this particular fray. She's very useful. A lot of itty generation coming from her, so we're just going to take advantage of that. And she has some pretty decent offensive capabilities too when used properly. That was way early, Nori. What were you even thinking? Still block, huh? Oh, that's right, you would be. These poison pools is an example. There we go, that's better block. Cool, I got a nice full itty charge going on, but now that we've raised trouble, picking up a pirate, you know, it's not seen very well by the local invading military, and now we've got to play some dodge with these guys. They're pretty easy to dodge, probably a little quicker way of being able to do it, but I'm just going to take it nice and easy. I really just don't want to get into a fight. I do have some financial impacts on that, by the way. If I happen to get a fight that I don't want to take, that's going to cost me some money towards donating to the good cause. So, I mean, as much as we would love to see that happen, I also want to make sure that we don't go over estimates. So we're just going to quickly get our pirate to her ship. These soldiers obviously have a different plan. Why wouldn't they? Wouldn't be a good enough blockade if they didn't keep us from doing what we wanted to. But again, these guys are going to basically get a nice taste of Rosmi's level 3. Oh, golly. Okay. Hey, boys. Calm down. We're all friends here. Not really, but... Oh, man, I am so bad at blocking today.
Nice try.
Okay, we beat those guys. Oh, no, they've got a tank. They always have a tank. Why do they always have to have a tank? This is always a fun little fight. This used to be a little bit easier because the phases of this tank would go down a little bit quicker, at least the harder part of it, which is the one that we're in right now. It's been changed a little bit, so it takes a little bit longer to get out of this phase and onto the actual easy part of this particular fight. So we're just gonna have to try to melt this guy's HP down as quickly as possible. Almost there. It's just that opening or that spread attack he does, which is really annoying. Go, got out of that phase. Now we're in a good spot. Oh, sure, you attack Rosmi when I freaking already am full on attacks. Whatever. That's kind of the meme, is what I need Rosmi to be attacked so that Rosmi gets some actual moves again, and it just never works out that way. Of course, the one time that I get the attack on Rosmi is when Rosmi doesn't need it. So mashing perfect block there when you get the first one will just mitigate the continual string of attacks that you get from that thing. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. Goodbye, tank. All right, blockade has been defeated, except for that giant wall.
About that.
Yeah, about that. Exactly, I'll say. She's going to teach us a new skill with that spear that she gave us. So, yay, now we can do some leaping. Also, good split. Let's go. All right, so this is her ship, the Teotl, Scourge of the Various Seas, as she calls it. It's a beautiful ship.
Here it is. So,
But we've got some stuff to do. We need to start traveling the world, and Ongwu gave us a mission. We need to unlock these chakra gates. The big kind of stone thing that she was on within the Tower of Wisdom. We need to find 3 of those across the world. We're going to start our search here in the Iron Kingdom, and hopefully be able to get that handled. No, not really. We're actually just here for a minute to pick up 1 skill, and then we've got to go elsewhere. Kind of the opening of the world, a little bit of Metroidvania-ish type stuff here with being able to find things, be able to progress, and be able to move forward in the story. You need to watch out for these little jerks in the ground there. Those cog rats are the bane of my existence sometimes. All right. So we got to do some platforming here. Ooh, that was almost too early. Almost got bodied by that guy, but we're good. There's Ashna losing momentum on a whim. Yay. Oh, okay. Wow, he normally... Oh, that's early. Second try. Not bad. Bad dog. There's a lot of things here. So Industrial City, the Iron Kingdom, is all about their technology and advancements. Led to quite a bit of pollution. This pink goo is everywhere. The good thing about it, it's very springy. Get a lot of good jump distance off of it. Just gonna make that guy kind of sit there and wait. And we're gonna look at our own wanted posters. Look at how good these drawings are, by the way. Excellent rendition of Rajna there. Big, burly, axe wielding. Perfectly done. Now we're just picking up another character there. Big, beefy Latigo. Best boy. Or at least he used to be for the most part. He's going to get an extensive amount of use. You'll see why when we get around to it. Everyone loves Latigo because he is just a powerhouse when it comes to dealing out damage. Or he will be. But we got a soldier to deal with here really quick. Perfect. Not perfect. Oh, this guy's just gonna barely survive. Because I missed out on some damage there in the last one. There we go. But we run into this other character, basically like the local Robin Hood. She steals from the rich, gives to the poor, and we're just going to steal her technique. Since she steals, we're going to steal a little bit in return there. We learn the compound corkscrew, which is what's necessary for us to really do anything at this point. We're kind of blocked in this location. Ooh, okay. I thought that guy wasn't going to move, and that was going to freak me out for a second. Thank God he did. So once we've got that technique, we are free to leave. We probably could find a way to complete this area, but it's just not easy or fun to do that. So we're actually just going to take this skill, run, go elsewhere, and head off to a different location. So back to the Theatol. And then back on the ocean, and quick menuing. We're going to Canoe. This is a beautiful place, probably my favorite, to be honest. I love this area. The music's beautiful. The backgrounds are extremely phenomenal. It's good stuff. This is kind of a more secluded people. They hide away. They've been in a bit of isolation for a while. Most people don't come to visit here. So we're gonna invade their territory. Oof, okay, that was close, but we got it. Nice. Let's go. Grabbing that ring, so we're halfway to our next power-up. Maybe soon, one day, we'll actually get what we need here. But yeah, main thing again, as always, just trying to avoid fights, so we're just gonna spring way over that guy. That fight is probably the worst one to get. That guy is terrible. These monsters all have different mechanics and things that go in their way, and you just really want to avoid some of these particular encounters if you can. Oh boy, do I have a present for you, my friend. This is actually really good. Coming into this with a full itty charge for Rosmi to open up on is extremely excellent, because I can just one-turn it. And now we get Nuna. Nuna has a very specific function in the speed run for me. I call her the best bench. She's very plant-based. She basically never gets used. I think there is some potential for her to be able to, but for purposes of my routing, nope. So she just basically is a place for all the other characters to sit when they're idle in Ashna's head. Kind of the running joke within my channel. Is kind of great. Anyway, so we're trying to find our way into this place. Looks like everything's kind of blocked off, and it looks like we just got ourselves stuck here. But Tarani's like, you know what? I can teach you something. So now we get this little trick with the bow. It allows us to make it a safe place, so we're not sticking ourselves anytime we jump into the spikes, as long as we're launching that. And this water kind of refreshes your charges of jumps and whatnot. There we go. Now we didn't get into that fight. Perfect. Get through there. There we go. Now we find our way. This is why we needed the corkscrew, so we could just go through here. We find out that the people have been moved inside because Kala's resurgence. The queen has ordered them inside, and she's currently working on trying to seal people in. Ashna's not a fan of this. Ashna's like, you people should be free. And we're finding out that the other people don't necessarily agree with our thought process. They kind of trust their queen, but we're like, nope, this is not the right way to handle this. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to kind of correct the situation here. And Ashna loves to do this a lot throughout the story. But we find the royal vizier here. We got the local sports legend Unach, and then here goes Tsitsi. She's kind of the royal advisor to the queen. Well, prepare yourselves, boys, because we're going in. Hinoch and Tiba here, they are quite the interesting pair. They are quite the duo. They're a lot of fun to play, because they're all based on this sports thing. You can actually do exactly what you're seeing here with the multiple strikes, as long as you time your attacks perfectly good, but I just don't find a good use for them within the route at this moment in time. They don't really generate a lot of itty. They're not all that powerful until maybe later in the game. We're just going to prove how weak they are by just beating up on them. Please attack Rosmi. Yes.
Get off. Annoying. Get off.
Ooh, yeah. Well, they went for it all in, too. It was a little late getting the juggle, but We got another charge there for Rosmi, which is exactly what I wanted to see, so I could dish out a little bit more damage there. All right, these boys are getting beat up. Okay, bounce. Oh, I thought he was going for the 5th one there. Of course you would. All right, almost done with these guys. I have to be a little careful. I've had occasional instances where the game would like a soft lock here. It doesn't register him as dead. Once I hit a certain point, he becomes rather invincible. So I'm fortunate there. Seems like magic attacks tend to be the reason that it happens, but I haven't run into it in a while. But it definitely has been a thing, so I had to be very cognizant of that right there. All right, well, now that we've beaten them, we find out that the queen is behind a number of various like barriers, and we've got to kind of break some totems here. Nuna there is basically was supposed to meet Ongwu in Port Maritha, but we got here first, and she's like, oh, we can totally help with that. And she's like, okay. She's not the smartest or most free-thinking girl out there, unfortunately, so she's just going to go along with whatever we say. And we're like, yeah, we're totally going to help that. But we got a lot of platforming here to do. We got a few rings still to pick up, and that's what we're gonna hope for. But I'm gonna use some damage boosting off of these spikes strategically just to avoid the additional amount of time to platform around them. And that said, we're gonna be collecting pretty much the rest of our ring souls as we're going around. I don't have a lot to say about it, so we'll turn it over to our gracious host once more for any donations, any plugs that they would like to do, you know, sponsors, whatnot. Have fun, and I'll be focusing on platforming.
Awesome, thank you, man. Unfortunately, we have no new donations, so that means you guys need to donate. We still have 3 bid wars going on. The next one coming up is Minecraft, which is still $10 to $5 between Nyanina and Razu. So get those. As plugging here. So we are Midwest Speed Fest, is a Minnesota-based organization that has been hosting speedrun marathons since 2015. In the summer and winter, we partner with GDCon and VGMCon respectively to help raise money for their chosen charities and bring even more entertainment to the conventions. In the spring and fall, we host online events, also in support of charity. So far, we have raised over $15,000 for various charities, and we hope to see that number continue to grow exponentially with your support. And here's a couple of things. This spring, Speed Fling is being restreamed in French by our friends over at Baguette Restream. They've been working with us for many marathons in a row, and we always appreciate the support. You can find a French restream at twitch.tv/baguette_restream.
Excellent. So yeah, the one thing I love about this game, and you get to see it really showcased in this area, is just the platforming in general in this game. There's so much you can do with the various skills that you get from Ajna and the other things that happen. Allows you to do some very interesting and fun things to kind of like skip maybe some intended things. Just a lot of fun in general. Kind of get to show it off here, you know, especially as you're having to combo various things to kind of get the best outcome of getting around it. You know, just comboing this, getting that particular one, some flowers, and then we got to do a combo jump up here, use this movement of the blocks. Just all kinds of fun little things that you were just able to do there. Also pay attention, some of these are instant death, like those spikes down there, those glowing ones, those are insta death. Well, death, I use in air quotes because you don't really die in this game, you just kind of get sent to a trance, kind of a checkpoint kind of thing, which is nice. You know, checkpoint system, I'm glad they added that recently. It was kind of like the last thing that they really did with the most recent patch. I guess kind of as I'm going through more of this, I'll talk about it. They've released a new mode, which is co-op, which you can still play this game just like this, but you can actually do it with 4 friends locally, even though it's not natively supported by the game itself. You have the ability to do this through Steam, SharePlay, as well as Parsec. Not sure about the PlayStation version. Oh, I just got bodied here. Nope. I had to pause there for a second to make sure I didn't get into that fight. Any of the fights in here would be very bad with my current party config, so we're trying to avoid those if all possible. But this game does have a new game plus as well that just came out, which is basically what I would call more hard mode than new game plus. You start with like your ending party from your file that you do the New Game Plus off of, but you also keep some of the abilities, but not all. You still have to get some of them. That's why I call it more of hard mode, because you're not able to do any dramatic skips with the way that it's currently configured. The monsters are significantly harder in that mode. A lot of it is perfect block or die kind of situations. And so it really forces you to more or less get good to really be able to get through it. But I highly recommend trying it out whenever you get a chance here. All right, we should be almost done with our ring soul gathering here. Just got to get this one. Okay. Oh, that's always the scary one. So I've got 20. I can get my next upgrade. I'm just going to do a little bit more platforming here. I'll go ahead and take it now. So we're going to get our next upgrade, which basically every time we do these turn-ins with her, we get a little bit more ability to do power. And I'm going to quickly change my party out here because magic in this area heals more monsters and bosses than it should. Actually heals them all when using magical attacks. So I need a purely physical party coming up here. And we find the queen. Here she is doing her business of trying to seal off this place from outsiders. But we're here to stop her because we don't believe that is just how it should be done. There's no way. But here comes big boy Ladigo's chance to shine. Alright, I'm going to save one attack here on Kadira because I need to buffer. I'm trying to keep her from going like off on a platform excursion. That's interesting. And here's Latigo just going ham. If I can keep her buffered so I can get to like a level 2, that would be preferred. Nope. Oh well. I tried to buffer her out. Didn't quite work. So we're going to have a little bit of platforming here. This particular phase just eats time. I usually do like to have her at least get one in. Just because I need it for the itty charge that it tends to give whenever we do. Because as she's sitting there trying to keep her shield powered, we're basically just stealing that itty. And Latigo's just basically going to be getting his stuff again, and we're just going to kind of use that to our advantage, being the big DPS monster that he is. Now, the main thing is do I want another charge on the platform? I may not have a say in the matter. We probably are going to see one more platform cycle, which is unfortunate. Maybe not. We're getting close to keeping her from doing it. There we go. She might be dead here. Not quite. Oh, got her. Nice. Okay, only one platform cycle. I will totally take that any day. That was a pretty decent fight, so we've stopped her from doing it. We haven't killed her. Don't worry. She's not dead. She's just knocked unconscious. We're not savage killers. We're not like Dar around here.
I hope so.
So we've done a good thing here.
Well, you're free.
They're free. They have the ability to leave if they want to. The queen is not allowed to seal them in, and we also get our very first chakra gate, which is exactly why we were here the whole time. We weren't completely overthrowing a monarchy or anything like that, because that's not what we're here for, right? Right? We did a good thing, right? I don't know. The debates are on. Did we do a good thing or not? Not sure. I mean, the main thing is we just need to stop the world from being destroyed, or basically recreated. Wiped clean and recreated. But now it's time to leave. Wish there was a quicker way of getting out of here, but unfortunately we just gotta kind of, platform our way out. That's the way I do it. And being very cautious of not getting into fights that we don't want to get into. Just basic backtracking, more or less. Although this is probably one of the more swag ways of doing it. When we get out of here at a certain point, always feels good. Again, I love the movement in this game. Just feels very satisfying from a platforming perspective, and me coming from a indie platformer kind of background in my speed running, which was not my intent when I first started. Interesting that that's how things kind of turned out, but you know what? I don't regret my choice. Some really good games out there that you might or might not have heard of. At any rate, this is fun. Whee! One more. Whee! There we go. Sorry, it just looks sick. It's a very easy platforming to do, but yeah. All right, here we go. Zitzi's not happy. She's basically been kind of relieved of her duties, I guess you could say, by the queen. The queen is not very happy about the outcome and of everything there, and she's been exiled. She wants a little bit of revenge. I can't say as I blame her. But you know what? Ooh, good block. Getting blocks here is kind of important. She won't kill me, but she will eat up time if she connects on any of these. So I'm really trying to avoid that being a thing. Too early. Perfect blocking grabs is like the hardest thing ever. Yeah, she's very unhappy, but I don't know. I'm sure that we've still done good here, right? I'm sure that we've done all that we can. We're going to move on to our next destination, Tai Krung. The rumors are that this area has gone kind of to the pot. There's a drug addiction going on in town. Everyone's kind of addicted to something called Oma, which is supposed to be used by the wise people, the fortune tellers and whatnot. The priests and monks of the area are supposed to be the ones using it. Tarani immediately is like, oh, I need to help these people, but it takes a lot out of her to do that. As you can see, she wasn't feeling too good after just curing one person. This is an entire town that's under the siege of this particular kind of issue, and we are going to see what we can do about that, while also looking for the chakra gate, because that's really the important thing, right? Get my setup there just so I can have enough runway to get a charge going. So yeah, this town, pretty dismal looking. A lot of bad things. There's a lot of Oma addicts, but lots going on in the background. Oh, hey, remember this guy, right? He's the guy we left to die in that flying city. He apparently survived. And for the longest time, I loved him in my casual play, but we never used him in the speedrun until recently with the recent patch change that required it. So that's going to be fun. I actually do like Mr. Tungar. He's actually really cool. Won't see him for a while, but he's going to be a fun character to watch. In the meantime, this is where Ginseng and Honey are from. So we're here to now help out, as they are apparently being besieged by these Oma addicts. We can't really have that. I'm gonna get Mr. Man all set up here for future. Having those blue bullets in the chamber, it means I can go right to a level 3 whenever I get my itty recharged, and allow him to whip out some damage pretty quickly on bosses. So that's what we were doing there, getting him set up for. In the meantime, we find out that Mara is our local kingpin, our lord, basically, of the Oma addiction. He's the one that's really pushing it, making lots of money off of it. So we need to stop this guy, and that's what we're up to now. But we've got to first get into his club. So we're just going to quickly head our way here, and oh, you know what? We're only 16. We can't get in. We're not old enough. Only adult rockers here, as the boss would say. And that's fine. We'll have to find another way, I guess. Some nifty platforming coming up here. Ooh, that might be... Yeah. Oh, no. I hacked it. I hacked it.
Cheap shot.
That's unfortunate. I was off by one little part on my my visual cue for that, and didn't quite make it. It's not that big a deal. Just a little time lost. Meanwhile, we've also got this freaking ninja that's like trying to hit us with these traps. We're trying to make sure that we at least stay ahead of them or not get caught like I did there. All right, so we're on the roof of this place. Still can't get in here. Requires a skill we still don't have. That's fine. We'll just play with electricity a little bit here. We've got a skill that works around that. Oh, wow. You didn't make it up there. Nice. Let's go. Oh, the save. Okay, that was scary. I'm gonna lie. Okay, I'm just gonna take this nice and casual. There we go. It would have taken too much to go back and get the setup I really wanted for that platforming. That's fine. All right, so this Ninja teaches us article grip. Article grip is a thing. I used to hate it platforming wise. It used to fail me more than the axe did. Now it's just the axe that fails me, and that's fine. I'm used to that. I've been used to that since day one of picking up this run. But article grip is still a thing, and it can sometimes fail on me if I don't use it correctly. So we'll hope that that doesn't happen, because that puts me in usually a rough spot if it ever does. Ooh, this is not a good setup. Okay. I have to watch what these flowers are doing. They don't always cover up the thing. Like you can see there's a... Okay, that's a thing. I actually have to start over. That was really unfortunate. Platforming in this again because Ajna likes to lose momentum on a whim. It's a little tricky, but no worries. Second try. Let's go. So we find there's a bunch of weirdos in this town. This guy's kind of an annoyance. This guy just loves to appear and scare the crap out of us because he's always right behind us and he's always like, I'm here. And we're like, who the heck are you? And he's actually like the local Batman. He's the local crime fighter. He's also fighting to beat the Soma addiction. And I just hecked the heck out of this too. I couldn't quite... Where are we at? Okay, I had to think about where I just got checkpointed to. This is a very tricky platforming I'm trying to do and skip... Oh, never mind, we're not going to skip anything. We'll just do this as intended, I guess. That's fine. It's better this way because that way I don't have to worry about potentially missing a trigger that causes him to not appear at the end of this. We'll just do the fun part here at the end. Last second adjust. There you go. And then one big leap for mankind. Boom. Alright, so we've made it to the top here. Tarani gets kidnapped by this jerk who's been annoying us since we got here. And now we're going to go into one of the most hyped tracks of this entire game, the Dance Macabre. Enjoy this beautiful song, as I'm going to do some more platforming, and I will turn it back over to our host if they have anything they need to plug or say. Silence is gold. That's all right. Oh, the ninja that's been plaguing us is now here. And he's an annoyance. This guy used to be really easy, but then on a patch they gave him actual AP, or like HP to work on. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There we go. Come on. I'm just trying to get to a level 3 here so our boy Latigo can do his thing. No worries, Bob. No worries. I was kind of out of the blue, and I forgot that I had this fight coming up because I tend to just dismiss it. I'm not a big fan of Ren anyway. It's really annoying. Not very well. He's powerful enough if you know how to use him correctly. I think that's like true of like all the characters in this. They all have their like really good assets. Let's try my friend. Not today. 2. Alright, ideally we're gonna finish this off without using Loud 8 Go, and hopefully not quite enough. We're gonna need one more round on this guy. I don't want to burn the level 3 because... Okay, how many traps are you gonna lay in front of her? I'll just trigger it. Doesn't matter to me. Going down anyway. There we go. Ah, get your Ahigo face out of my face, my friend. There we go. No more lousy ninjas getting in our way. It's really what we care about. You notice he didn't join us. Oh, shoot. Okay. That was close. Almost got into that fight. Didn't want to. Almost forgot she was there. All right, we find Tarani. She's now whining and dining with Mara. Really good dinner in the background, it looks like. Sorry, buddy, you had a shield. All right, we are not set up for anything on the upcoming boss. By the way, rip dinner. But hey, guess what, everyone? There's always room for Jello. That's the only thing that survived an entire onslaught. So if you like Jello, you're in luck. If you don't, I'm sorry. Also, it's lime flavored. Nobody likes lime flavored Jello, I don't think. If you do, I think you're weird. We are off to the roof of this place to finally bring Mara to justice. How dare you steal our girl, our best mom, and run a drug ring. But he sicks his lapdog on us. So we got Garuda Cruel instead. This is going to be a lot of more second verse, same as the first as it relates to how we deal with him. But this guy has a lot of phase changes, so he likes to go off screen a lot. And I'm going to try to keep him from doing it too much. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I can say about it. With the quick ATB of some of these guys, he's just going to disappear like right away. So now I just have to worry about his off-screen attacks. Get my idiot up to 3 because we all know what's going to come here. Got a nice bullet storm in store for this guy. Have fun, my friend. By the way, mashing does help increase the DPS on that, believe it or not. If you just do like a normal, you're not going to get near as much damage, but mashing does do a huge increase there, so highly recommend if you do use this guy, try it out with the level 3. And then keeping that blue bullet, by the way, I don't know if I really got into that explanation with it, but keeping that blue bullet is the reason why he's getting such penetration damage. Oh wow, this jerk. Eat a spear to the face, my friend. The blue bullet does basically keep that penetration damage going, which is why I leave one instead of burning them all, you know, right away with that. Because the penetration damage is really where everything kind of comes into play there. But, all right, we knocked him out. He's done. We are completely done. Oh, by the way, if you're noticing, apologies. I'm not picking up any more ring souls. I don't need any more for this run. I used to get some for defense purposes. There's really no point. Deaths in these games are not, or in this game is not punishing. The checkpoint system's pretty gracious in most cases. So if you take a death because you're bad at blocking, it's not that big a deal. Just losing time because you have to start the fight over kind of thing. Oh, by the way, anyone here need a good back rub? I know a guy. You need a back rub? I could go for one. Go for one myself, actually. Here's back rub bot. He looks like he's ready to serve. Another satisfied customer. Nice. So Mara has been defeated. By the sound of things, I'm sure that he enjoyed his trip to the spa with Mr. Backrub Bot there. I hope he did at least. But again, we feel like we've done a thing. We haven't exactly cured, anything. The addiction is still pretty rampant. This town is not very happy, but I feel that we've done good here. I don't know about you. Also, nifty little platforming skip right there by doing a quick turn. Oops, that is not where I wanted to do that. This is where I wanted to do that. And so, we're done. We got our second gate. We're happy. We've done good. We've done good. Time to move on. So we have unfinished business. The only place we haven't cleaned out, Iron Kingdom. So let's go back there and actually let's take care of that. We got some good to do here too. So again, we know that this town is all about conquest at this point. They believe that they are going to be the future. They're going to be able to save the world from Kala, and they've got a machine that can do that. We don't really care about that. We really just want the Chaka Gate. So hopefully they aren't going to get in our way here. Meantime, I got a really tricky platforming segment to do here, so bear with. This became really hard with the most recent patch, in that they added a burst out mechanic for enemies that are being juggled outside of battle. Oh, this is not a good setup. Let's try that again. No. If I get into a fight here, it sucks because I have to restart from checkpoint, and that checkpoint is all the way back at the docks. Okay, good enough. 2 more hits than I needed to make sure to get him there, but soldier elevator complete. There's the burst out, by the way, that you heard. That sound was the soldier bursting out of his combo. He's like, nope, you are not doing that to me anymore. they get incredibly long iframes, so you are having to wait a very long time before you were able to try to set that up again. So getting it first try, very important. All right, so we just skipped a lot of back and forth platforming by doing that. That was the important reason for getting that trick. We don't have to go inside and back and forth and then back up here to the roof. Now we just got to do some extra platforming. So Compound's here to kind of guide us. She's also here to kind of stop the corruption that is Iron Kingdom. We're trying to get in the right position for that, or otherwise we take spike damage. Don't want that. So we're going to use all of our available skills that we... Oh, jeez. I hate to see it. No. This is kind of tricky. If you miss one, you got to basically start all over because you're going to fall all the way to the bottom. Don't really want to do that if I can avoid it. There we go. In we go. This guy is just an annoyance. He's here just to be a pain. I forget. Are we on 2 or 3? I bet we're on 2. I'm just going to use the 2 here. I don't believe we were. Oh, we were. We weren't. We weren't loaded up. It's always hard to remember where we've got Latigo set up. Or at least for me it is. Old mind, old memory. All right, we don't need to keep anything for this because he's not going to be useful in the next few minutes. I mean, we're going to use him, but he's not going to be for our next boss. So not having him loaded for bear on his next one is no big deal. In the meantime, we just got to get through this HP sponge. This guy has way more HP than anyone should rightly have. No. Alright, so Compound's like, yeah, there's more going on within the factory. You've now cleared the way. Let's go inside. You might recommend or recognize that robot from the beginning of the game as well. Apparently, heroes are not treated very well here. Despite him having helped seal Kahlo away many years ago, he's been stuffed away in an attic, and he is not looking good. So we're going to have to help him out. Ginseng thinks that he can repair said robot, so we're going to have to find the missing parts. These stupid, annoying little rats have them. Well, certain ones do. Also, be careful of that guy. He likes to body the heck out of you if you let him. Same with that one, if you're not paying attention. So, I don't really have much to say here. You're just going to see pretty much a lot more of this intricate platforming as I try to do this as quickly as possible. Again, Ahmed, if you're around, Mr. Host, I'll open it up to you.
I do have some donations. $500.
Hype!
That's awesome. We have 2 donations. We have one from Little Washu82, $10, saying, "Watching Nori makes me feel like a kid again. Go Nori! The universe support you. Something good."
Thank you, sis.
We also have a donation from IF Duke saying, "One more for the amazing Fancy Times race last night. Some bets were made and some tricks were pulled off. Thanks again, Luke and Rill. I'm so proud of both of you." And we actually have a new name for the upcoming bid war for Charizard name, the Elite Gamer, which is also a new emoji on the Rescue Fest Discord server. So.
Right on. That was my sister doing that first donation, so appreciate her being here and helping out for the good cause. So thank you, sis. Also, we just got a new ability. After repairing that robot, he kind of teaches us how to basically ground pound. Oh no! Oh, the timing was bad. It's fine. These lava cycles are very finicky. You want to get like the optimal, it just doesn't always work out in your favor. It's really hard to determine exactly what drives them and where you're going to be when you run into them there. So unfortunate that we couldn't get a nice little cycle skip there. Also, I pressed a button when I shouldn't have to not get a nice wall jump. There we go. So we're just now going, we're getting closer to kind of finding out what's going on here. You know, the main robot, he's like, yeah, they kind of just stuffed me in here. They don't have any need for me, but they're building something much bigger. And we're like, okay, but it's also kind of blocking our path to where we need to go, which is, you know, again, we're after a chakra gate. We don't care about anything else. No! Oh, okay. No, okay. Oh, I thought I was getting into that fight. Talk about time sinks. Whew. We got lucky. At any rate, Compound has betrayed us to the enemy, and they wanted to use Ajna as basically a giant battery for this robot. We're not having that, of course. No, that's just not fair, not fun. And now we're gonna bring in a new party. So we got some people that haven't normally seen action, getting some action here. We got Outside the Pirate, Kushi, who we picked up like super early in the run. She's finally getting a chance to shine against this giant robot. And it's mainly the verticality of some of these attacks that makes them so valuable for this, because they have certain attacks that just reach up and are able to hit multiple parts of this monstrosity at the same time. And it's why they're kind of used here. Kushi is super slow though, unfortunately. So, you know, as much as I love having her for the Itty generation. Oh, that was not what you flashed at me, my friend. Wow, that stinks. Have to set up Kushi again because right now I need her for the Itty generation ability, which is why I have her in the party to begin with. We're just going to be smacking the heck out of this thing. This thing actually has, I'll call them phases. It's more like parts. Getting the timing of those is not fun. And then, unfortunately, Rosmi again on, oh, what? How did you get stuck in that? Whatever. Get in there, Kushi. Soon we won't be needing Kushi, at least up in the air, can do some other different things. That's why you're doing it. Okay. There we go. Getting the combo to be able to get the most out of Ajna was not working very well for me there. That's fine. Thank you for knocking her off the bird for me. Didn't need her up there anymore anyway. So soon we're going to be able to finish this up pretty quickly. There might be some other people I could possibly swap in to be able to help out with this fight, maybe in a little slightly better fashion, but let's try there, jerk. This works just as well because Kushi does like to have some fun. Just a little more itty, please. Go. I don't normally get 3 attacks with Rosmi on this. That's going to be very nice. Good finish there. I actually saved time on my splits because of that. That third itty charge is usually not something that comes along, so it was really good to see that. All right, we've destroyed that mech. The Iron Kingdom's plans have been thwarted, and we got our last chakra gate. We're very happy about this. We have done good, right? I mean, never mind the fact that there appears to be more of that pink sludge everywhere. I'm sure that's not going to be a problem at all. No issues. None. And now we got to make our great escape, which involves going through the sewers. Outside used to run supplies through this town, so she had a little stash there. Really funny dialogue spot if you play this casually. Highly recommend you pay attention to that when you get there. At least I found it pretty entertaining. But we now have to get the heck out of here, so let's do that. And just more platforming. Oh yeah, we should talk about that little thing I'm doing with the spear. When going into the Scallywag, or is it Scallywag Spring? I forget what it's called. There's like Scallywag Spring, then there's... Oh, I'm gonna get bodied here. Okay, not that bad. I was thinking about where I was going and not paying attention. You're able to cancel Ajna's momentum by doing into the spring there, and it does that. We're gonna pick up this hitchhiker, by the way. She's very important. Leilani, very wonderful girl. It's a shame that she got nerfed so hard in the patch, but I still find her very valuable for one particular thing. And I'm gonna need some bless RNGs in chat when we get to that fight, just to see if she actually lives more than one round. Because I would like to actually have more out of her than just the one round if I could. But we'll see how that goes. That said, we've done it. We were going to go report to Ongwu. This guy's going to interrupt us really quick. He's a cool guy. He lives in Ajna's head, but he's there to basically be kind of a place where you can lab out your combos and stuff. So he's able to pull in a monster, and then you guys can go to town on it and try to figure out kind of your best, like, you know, how high can you get your combos, where's your best damage coming from. He's a really, really cool guy. Long was like, wow, you guys are back already? Well, okay, here we go. I'll go ahead and give you access to this gate, and now we have access to Lon. So now we just have to go and talk some monks into letting us go back to Mount Sumeru so we can take out Kala. Let's see how this plays out pretty much. First things first, little homecoming. Lan Shi is a good boy. Lan Shi is best boy. So this pathway hasn't been open for a very long time, so they were a little surprised by this. They're also finding our request to be quite unorthodox, so they've got to confer on it. In the meantime, we've been asked, oh, let's just talk to a few monks here and, you know, see about, you know, what we need to do. Ashna's not too happy about this, but everyone's like, you know, just give it until morning. And hopefully they'll give us passage. No word as of morning. By the way, that was overnight, by the way. Anyway, we're hoping to get passage. They say no, and your actions are definitely like proving us right that we shouldn't let you through. Dar agrees. Dar's trying to stop us as usual because he's a jerk. We don't care about that. New skill obtained, by the way. Now have an air dash. I'm gonna have to use prematurely because I completely missed my jump there. All right, so we made it out of there. You know, we're not listening to anyone. We're gonna stop her now, or the world's gonna be in trouble. So we just can't wait. No patience. I need to watch for goats. Always have to remind myself of that, because goats are a thing. Oh man, I always miss that. It's so freaking tight, and I never make it. That's fine. Just back it up here. So we got to start climbing. There's a lot of mountain to do, but we're gonna take a different path. It's not gonna be the same thing that we saw the first time. Oh wow, Ashna, don't troll me right now. Okay, you're trolling me. I said don't troll me. Refresh that before it runs out. Oh gosh, that was scary. The skip used to be really easy. Used to just launch a goat and then use that goat, but they changed the goat to being a heavy, and because it was a heavy, you were no longer able to juggle it. But that's fine. There's other ways we can do this, and unfortunately, it took me about third try to get it, but we got there. And that just again saves me from having to go back and forth, you know, through the middle, like you saw the first time. Do I have enough time here? I do. That was a little sketchy platforming wise. So we just kind of circumvented one part. We're going to do it again. Just kind of clip over here, have a little fun, go up, so yeah, every time you get a new one, it kind of opens up the ability for you to do another path if you choose to do it, which is very fun. And again, platforming extremely satisfying here. All right, here we go. Now the trickiest part. Nice shooting, Tex. I double tap square. Gotta wait for him to come back. Oh, there we go. Okay, at least we got that one first try. That one's the scarier one, because if I miss that, I tend to fall all the way down. And that puts us in a very bad spot if I do that. Getting back up is quite the challenge if you do make that mistake. Alright, so we basically just missed having to do the entire inside of Sumeru 2. It's basically just Sumeru 1 all over again, so we've already seen that. We want to see something new, right? Right. That's why we're taking this path. And this path is fun. Wasn't sure I actually hit the spikes there. I'm glad I did. One more goat to be cognizant of. Yes, you can get into fights with these. You don't want to. They're really annoying. Alright, so we just basically backdoored our way into Sumeru, and we're basically right up to where we fought, or almost to where we fought Ravanavar the first time. So we just basically miss all that interior stuff going back and forth by taking the outside route. Good times. So let's have a little reminiscence session. You know, Dar again, had believed that to be the father. He basically yeets that sitar out of existence when he sees it lying there, because, you know, Ivanovar just had to leave a small testament. It was great. We don't care. We're going to have to go deeper, apparently, because Kala is nowhere to be found. Where could she be? Where indeed? Yep, we'll find out eventually. Nope, she's still not here. I don't know. I mean, this is where the platforming starts to ramp up a little bit. It gets a little trickier. I'm actually going to skip just something there just for consistency's sake to get through that a little bit easier, a little bit better. And boom, boom, boom. Now we got to use our additional skills that we've basically picked up around the world to start doing some platforming. So you start to see new elements. It's a little bit more complicated, and every time that we visit Sumeru, it just gets more and more complicated. So we have to be on our platforming game to be able to get through this at least at a relatively decent pace. See how we do here. I always miss that jump, which kills my momentum. That's good. I'll say a very limited amount of time on these ice blocks before they become spike blocks. You really don't want that. Of course, I get the harder one, but not the easy one. Good job, Murray. Let's go. It's just, again, a lot more platforming as we go along. It's just going to get a little bit more complicated. I don't really have a lot to say here. I'm going to focus a little bit more on my platforming because of the fact that it requires it. Again, Bahamut, I will open it up to you if you've got anything to say at the moment.
Sure, we have no new donations at the moment, but I'll definitely say some stuff about we are sponsored by Rogue Energy, Midwest Speed Fest partnered. Type command Rogue Energy in chat or check our Twitch bio for a link to the Rogue Energy store. We can buy energy drink. A portion of purchase will go towards the OI Foundation. Also, Midwest Speed Fest is partnered with Humble Bundle. Type command Humble Bundle for a code you can add to the end of any Humble Bundle store link to support the OI Foundation. And then one last plug here. We are also partnered with DJ Fatso. 40% of all purchases of DJ Fatso's album, Fat to the Fat, will benefit OI Foundation. You can find links to purchase the album both physically and digitally in our Twitch bio or by typing command DJ in chat.
I've heard some of this stuff. I highly recommend you check it out. Alright, so as you can see, again, it's just more complicated ones. There's a lot more of these spike pits and things like that. Most of this is, I say, you know, again, insta kill, question mark. It's more like insta reset in regards to where it sends you. Oh, I apparently missed. Overshot my my bow shot there. But, you know, we know where we're going. We know what we need to do to get through this as relatively quick as possible. Some of this stuff I'm making look easy. It might not be 100%, but most of this isn't super difficult. Just once you get used to it and how Ajna operates with her platforming, you can usually just plug through a lot of this stuff here. You might have noticed one little corner skip I did where I basically mid-turned Ajna around so I didn't have to worry about the crumbling platforms. Saves just a little bit of time. It's not the largest time save, but always good to get. We keep plowing through here, and there's still no sign of Kala. And this room used to be, when I was first learning this game, this room was a nightmare. Casually, this room was a nightmare. I'll show you a little something that most people don't happen to observe when they're going through this the first time. Because I went around on these platforms up here, but hey, look at this. The gap on the side. Most people are so mad when they see that for the first time. They're like, wait a minute. That's been there? Because it was a lot trickier going the way that I did it. In my casual playthrough. I was even annoyed when I saw. I was like, you're kidding me. Okay, good save there. Don't hack this up. Good. Boom, 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 boom. That pretty much was the intended way. Yes, 8-bit. I did it the hard way. I think a lot of players did it the hard way. Because that should be the intended way. Like, dang, I did this again. I get myself really out of alignment when I do that. Spring jump into there. It's fine. We'll just take a second to recorrect ourselves and we keep plugging forward. Okay. Works too. Make it. Okay. I wasn't sure I had enough space there. I'm glad I was ready for the axe. So we are this far in, and we still have seen no Kala. The one thing we learned is that Tirani says and lets us know that she is actually from this area. She used to live here. And where are you at, speaking of Tirani? Just had a little bit of a party change right there, just to get us set up for what's coming up here shortly. But again, we gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. You dash too soon, you end up like running into a wall, and then you wall jump off of it. It's like, not what I was going for there. All these skills combined allows for a lot more platforming, and this is all pretty much expected of the player. Really not as difficult as it looks, but some of this has been simplified just from getting used to how the game works, and the speedrunning practice comes along with it. And still no Kala. Where are you? Just kidding. She's not RNG. I know where she's at. We're getting close. We're actually almost done with this. But a lot of platforming it took to get here. And finally, hey, there she is. Mom's happy to see us.
Accept it, little eye.
Accept it, little eye. We're not happy to see her, though. Oh my god, what the heck is all that? Holy cow, yeah, we've got a big boss fight. And our actual boss is Ajna herself. She's very mad. I don't blame her. Kala's just like, I just need to absorb you and we can actually recreate this world again. But no, this is our world now. And yeah, that's a lot of Ajna. So all I'm doing here is we basically are in a race to get Ajna's are full as quickly as possible. I'm trying to do that so I don't get blasted by Kala here. Every time that we do that causes a phase change. We are guaranteed to get one attack from Kala, as I was ready for it. That's where I would expect to see it, so I knew it was coming. Holy cow. But at any rate, yeah, there's a lot going on here. It's a pretty interesting looking boss fight. I love it though. This floored me the first time I got here. I was like, that's really cool. But now I have an unskippable cutscene, so this is a good handbrake for me. I'm gonna stretch a little bit, have a drink of water, I'll hydrate. And also, Dar, if you're gonna use earth magic, you might want to be standing on the ground. Might be more effective. Just saying. I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, no, he's fine. Don't worry about it, Ajna. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh, that happened. Ajna did not have a good day. All we're going to say about it.
Why can't I get out of here? This place feels endless.
And then we black out. We have no idea what's going on. We're just kind of reflecting on everything that we did and realized that maybe we didn't do any real good at all. It was more like I was being very selfish. I really just wanted to, I thought I was doing what I was right, but it really wasn't what was right in how I did it. So it's a moment of reflection for Ajna here. She's blacked out. And she's having a little conversation with herself. We get our next magical girl transformation, which I am skipping. I should have actually played it now that I think about it, but it's okay. I'm sorry about that. Play the game. You get to see it eventually. Things aren't looking good in the world. I think we've been out of it for a couple of weeks at this point.
Before we go.
And yeah, this is our village that we started in. Still kind of had space after being burned down and stuff like that. It just kind of is what it is. But we are now back on the trail. We need to figure out how we're still going to stop Kala, because she is still a very big threat. We find it a little surprising that she hasn't reset the world yet. But maybe she can't because she's still missing a piece of her. That's always a possibility. But now this world also has some like weird pieces of her floating around, so it's kind of like a portent that things are about to go wrong here if we don't do something soon. So we just basically need to figure out exactly how we're doing that. And right now, I think the best thing that we can do is kind of look for our missing friends, because our party is significantly lower. There is a lot less people in our party. Oh, wow, I actually biffed that. Wow. I haven't biffed that in a while. Just gotta kind of get there. We used to be able to go down from here and have it be a good way of being able to get through here, but they made a change to things, and there's a monster now that pops up that's actually really freaking annoying to deal with. Very slow to get through the fight, so we're just going to take the upper route, just like we did when we first got here, to work out. It would take me significantly amount of a longer time to get through that fight, and then we find out, hey, there's been a chakra gate here this whole time, but we don't care about it. Don't need it. But really good if you want to do some world exploration, kind of come back, revisit places, you know, get those things that you saw but you couldn't figure out how you could get to them. You might have the ability now. Always worth checking out. Again, slight Metroidvania nod there, more or less. But now you're gonna see that this world is actually just one really big tied-in mess, right? We've just gone from Ashwat to Tai Krung, through kind of another way. I mean, again, we got interrupted the last time we were there. Thanks a lot there, Dar and your friends, and Ravanavar and your friends. So now we've just basically, we're gonna come here because we've heard that, you know, Tarani might be around, and we're gonna look for her and then maybe potentially fix some things. We get a new companion, good old Naga Rider, or as I like to call him, Naga One Fighter. And I hope that my party kept. This game has a tendency to not keep my party changes when I want it to, which is annoying, but it is what it is. I'll make the most of it if we don't get to keep our party. And Naga Rider teaches us kind of this new skill. So now instead of having the runway to charge, as long as I'm able to keep my momentum going and I'm pushing in the right direction, you know, like basically just holding the run direction, whichever way I'm going, I'm able to keep my full on charge now. So it opens up, you know, some new avenues like these orange doors that we weren't able to get into before. So it opens up, again, more platforming options for you, more abilities to go fast. And she does run a little bit faster in her new transformation. So a lot of fun to platform at this speed. This kind of reminds me of my days with Shantae and the Pirate's Curse and pirate mode runs where Shantae would just go really quick. Asha is very much like that right now. We found Tarani hanging out there at the Ocean of Milk. She's lamenting that these people are still suffering from the Oma addiction going around town. Wants to be able to do more, but feels powerless because she just really can't keep up with the demand of healing these people that are desperately in need of that. We're like, well, I'm here and I'm sorry for everything that I did wrong. I hope you forgive me. Of course I forgive you. Let's go have some fun and save the world. That's basically what's going on here. God, I hate this guy. Thank you. All right, so Naga One Fighter gets his one go in this fight here. He's kind of cool. I like him in a way. He's not the best character, but he has his uses. All right, let's get Latigo set up because, you know, is our boy. We haven't had him in party for a while. That's right, he's got more than one attack when he does that. I keep forgetting that. Oof. This is getting carried really quick. You'll notice that the damage is significantly ramped up at this point in the game too. And even though our HP has grown throughout everything that we've done, oh man, I hate when this guy calls in because now I've got to. Dang it! That's what I was afraid of. The timing of this guy is really annoying. But I'm not going to have my 3 the way I want it. Screw it. I'm out of this fight. I'm not going to mess around with this. We're done. I'm not going to do it. That fight could have dragged on for a while if I hadn't just decided to take care of him. We free Yan here. Yan immediately replaces Mr. Naga One Fighter. She's just significantly better damage-wise, which is why she does almost, I won't say twice as much, but she does a significant more amount of DPS with her attacks than he does. So it's like a really quick, oh, this is what stinks about this more. We'll actually get to see this guy have moves. I need it to really quick game, if you don't mind. Oh, no, and I just burned it. I'm hecking up this fight in the worst way. Who'd have thought that this guy actually had moves? Can I get to it too really quick here? Thank you. Jeez, well, I screwed this up by having to use that 80 there. That's what I wanted to do out of the gate. That would have been the optimal thing. Level 2, Ajna calls this guy out for the fraud that he truly is, and we are just instantly done. But it's a meme to earlier conversations about IDs and being able to get into places that you can't until you're older. And we call him out as basically you should be bouncing and not actually being a fighter. So Garuda Cruel is now in charge here, by the way. This is kind of what's happened since Mara went, had his little day at the spa. Garuda Cruel is now taken over. Everything is still basically running the Oma addiction or Oma ring. And we're here to actually correct a wrong. We're going to fix that. We're like, well, we didn't exactly do this the way that we should have the first time. Let's correct it and make it okay now. No big deal, right? No big deal. Also, again, second best track of the game. First best track for me actually was one that I didn't point out. I don't get to hear it very long, but that was the fight during Moloch. I think that's my favorite overall. Fight me or don't at me if you disagree. Fine. All right, that said, we got to go up here and do some things, but this tower of fighters as it is, because this is basically what Garuda Cruel is set up, is now everybody who thinks that they are a fighter is in this one, and everyone kind of has their own specific floor. And we have to basically go through a mini gauntlet, as it were, to reach the top and have our chance at dethroning Mr. Man here. So we're going to do that. All right, we need to get Latigo set up for future here. Actually, I need him to kind of do some plowing here. This guy stinks. He's changed up quite a bit from what he was. He's like, it's really hard to predict his moves now. Wait. Can I get a 3? No, I cannot. She gave me one right away here, which is nice. Thank you. Not my best smash there, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, now the important thing is to get our itty kind of replenished here. So I need it in going into this next fight. Oh, that's all you did? Problem is, and one thing I haven't pointed out with this game yet, if you're blocking, like holding the block button at any given point, you're actually punishing yourself in that you end up losing itty. You probably just saw it happen just a little bit there. So you can't just sit there and hold block and expect it to work out in your favor. You really want to avoid that wherever possible, just so you can kind of maintain some things here. I need to bring in our girl and my new boy. Except you're supposed to be up there, and you are supposed to be down here. You. I had to wait for my dash to calm down there. Because the sisters, the daughters of Mr. Mara, who we destroyed or kind of ended up killing earlier, not on purpose, are very mad at us. Understandably so. Kind of our fault that their dad is dead, I guess. But big boy Tungar is going to now shine. Just because of his AoE damage. Nice casual 500,000 points of damage total there. And oh yeah, this was the Bless RNG moment. Forgot to call that out, but looks like I don't know that she's going to live to do another spin to win, but that would have been nice if she did. I'm going to go ahead and burn this here. I mean, she can if I block proper. Okay, she actually gets the second one. That's kind of rare. We don't normally get her alive that long, but she didn't get targeted. Nice. That actually went pretty decently. Let's go. I am not complaining. Oops, how did Yon? Yon, what are you doing there? Oh. Menuing. Menuing is hard. There we go. Oh, good lord. Right, she actually survived a second, or got the ability to do a second spin to win, which we don't normally get to see that. Alright, here we go. Alright, so again, same platforming as always for this particular part. We come up here to finally take on Mr. Garudacruel. He doesn't, we don't give a chance, really, at least right away.
Don't aim too much.
You should be set up, Mr. 3, I think. You are not. I goofed that up. Oh well, missed opportunity for damage. I'll just, we'll refresh that and we'll start over. So he's not much different than last time. He kind of does the same thing. The only thing is you don't get a heads up when he's doing his little coming from the side thing. Like before, you were able to see what direction he was coming from. You don't get that warning now. So it's really annoying. That's why I just kind of spam my my spear attacks to the left and right, just to make sure that I'm trying to give myself an opportunity. If he grabs me, it sucks. He does pretty decent damage, actually. We don't really want to take a lot of damage here because he can actually knock me out of this fight, and I really don't want that to happen. There we go. Got him. Oh no, he got away. Okay, not the second time. You have to be ready to go and get him once you do that, or otherwise he just leaves and tries again. Being able to just stop him like that is so funny. You. Ooh, some of those shots missed. Normally Latigo is a little bit more accurate than that, but not today, apparently. Oh no! Thank you. I was like, you're not getting away, Mr. Garudacruel. He almost did. He almost did. That's fine. We've taken him out. Tirani still hasn't fixed the problem yet, though. But we're like, you know what? Use us. I'm full of itty now. Combine my power with yours. And this healing rain created by Tirani now starts to cleanse the entire area of Tai Krung. People are having hope again. People are helping each other again. It's great. Things are good. We have righted one wrong. Yay, us. We've done good. We've got more good to do, but we got some backtracking to do. So our next destination really quick will be Iron Kingdom. We gotta kind of get some help from Ongwu on that front. Looks like Ongwu, help us, Ongwu. You're not home. Oh, your assistant is. Okay. You're telling us you're in Kunul now. Okay, no big deal. We can make that work. We're off to Kunul then. We had to come here anyway, right? We got to fix our wrong here as well. We find out very quickly that things aren't well. Everyone's down here. Why are they down here? Something is attacking them from outside called the Obsidian Wind, and it's got the people scared. The Queen, once again, is trying to help the people by sealing away the powers that are trying to attack them. So we're gonna try to make it up to her. She's probably not gonna be too happy to see us, given what happened last time, but maybe, I don't know, maybe bygones be bygones. She'll allow us to do some things here, but in the meantime, it's just a lot of platforming and backtracking through here. We're going to take an alternate path that you weren't able to see last time because of the new abilities. Beyond that, don't have much to say. Enjoy the platforming, and I'll turn it over to our host if there's anything that you'd like to talk about.
We have some time there, Nori?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Fortunately, we have no new donations, so, you know, we need to bring those in. We are $1,000 away from our next goal, so bring those in. We still have 3 bid work, including one that's coming up in a little bit here, the Minecraft. It's still $10 to $5. So bring those donations in, and you can change that if you'd like.
Trying to think, like, based on my internal head count, what I want to actually put Which bid war I want to flame up a little bit with my donation after this run is over. Have to figure that out. We're running out of marathon, unfortunately. It's been a fun weekend, so I hope everyone's been enjoying that.
Oh, definitely. It's most of the bid war is still very easily up for grabs.
Well, I will definitely put it to mind as we're about to finish our backtracking here. We just have to climb all the way from the bottom to the top to help out the queen, or at least try to help out the queen if she'll let us. And speaking of, we've made it. And again, as expected, she wasn't happy to see us. But she's like, you know what? I will hold this shield in place, go deal with this, and then maybe I'll forgive you. Maybe not. Well, here's the obsidian wind, and wow, doesn't she look familiar? It's Zitzi, very unhappy, and pretty much saturated with Kala's power. So this is why she's unhappy. Well, obviously she's unhappy because we got her exiled. So she wants some revenge, obviously, on the people that have turned their back on her, and all she wanted to do was serve her queen. You know what I say to that? Have some bullets. So this one is another one of those fights that goes in phases. I need to get her to a certain point. She's gonna kick us out of the fight on the regular to make us do like extensive platforming to be able to reach her between cutscenes. So we're just trying to get her to those phases as quickly as possible, do our thing to get up there and hit her, and then get right back into that fight as quickly as possible. So that's the goal here, and it's rinse and repeat. For once, we're not actually out to like murder anyone. We just need to knock some sense into her. So we'll see how long that takes us to do. Looks like it's going to take us a little bit, but that's okay. We got our boy Latigo to kind of help push things along. There we go. Nice. We didn't miss any of the ascensions to get her. That's good. This will be the final phase for her. Just gotta get her down again, hit point wise, in order to kind of end this. Which is really funny, by the way, when you push her over that limit, but then just keep beating on her because she tries to get you out of the phase, and then you just refuse to let her. It's pretty funny. Warp over here to the middle just to make this easier. We learned a new skill, which is this. We turn somebody to like plant life, and we're able to warp to them. The split game. Thank you. Wow, Live Split and me are not getting along right now.
Last place on the list.
All right, so we have righted another wrong. Sitsi is allowed back into things. The queen sees that we really did like do things in the wrong way, but we had good intentions. So she's not too angry at us, but she has her reasons to be upset, understandably. But again, we've corrected another wrong, and now we just need to be able to finish one more. We've got to right some wrongs in Iron Kingdom, and you're probably asking yourself, why are you going all the way back to the bottom? Couldn't you just leave from the docks? Would, except Outside's not in our party at the current moment. Also, you wouldn't be able to get to her, or you wouldn't be able to get here any other way. If you decided to do, let's say you wanted to go to Port Marifa and get her early, it still wouldn't help you because, according to Bautzai, the seas are blocked off except for access to Iron Kingdom. So even if you got her early, you still couldn't do anything with this, which is kind of sad. I kept like musing on this one day doing a run, and we were trying to figure out like, would there be a quicker way than going all the way back through all this? And it's like, nope. As you thought more and more on it, you're like, nope, I'm blocked by this, I'm blocked by that. And it's annoying, but it is what it is. You know, we just do the best that we can, and we deal with it. It's not that long of a trip back to the Chakra Gate anyway. But again, once more, we've got to take our detour through Iron Kingdom. And I'm sure Ongwu will be making her way back here eventually if she's not here already. Yep, she's already beat us here. It's like, okay, good job. You fixed that. We're good. But we still need a boat. Hi, Phoebe. Bye, Phoebe. She used to be kind of good in the speed run. Not so much anymore, unfortunately. Second best mom in the game. There's our pirate friend. Hey, we found her, as usual, at the bar. Where else would you find a pirate, right? Sucking on some grog, having a good time. telling jokes and laughing. Also, again, hi Phoebe. Bye Phoebe. It's a shame. She's an interesting one. Unfortunately, Mr. Tungar gets to go very lonely in this speedrun. And we have no one blocking us, of course, because we cleaned up Port Marifa ages ago. Outside is happy to be back to sailing. I don't blame her. She basically tells us, yeah, we can still only go to Iron Kingdom at this point. That's fine. We already took care of business in the other locations, so no big deal. Let's get this all cleaned up. Literally. As I said, we caused a bit of a pollution problem here. A lot more slime around. I also find Kadira here. This is where she went after everything went to pot for us there at after Samara 2. So she's happy to kind of see us. She wants some resolution in her life. That's a completely separate side quest, by the way. I'm not really tempted to learn head percent where we actually do all quests. That would be a heck of a speed run, though. Maybe one year, but not this one. That said, we're gonna take the sewers. Probably the best way to sneak in at this point. Things are not happy here in the Iron Kingdom. Peasants are very upset, and I guess rightly so. Their queen basically nearly kind of really destroyed the entire thing. She was just trying to follow her dad's wishes, the prior king, but that hasn't played out too well in her favor at this point. Again, with all the pollution, right? Compound, the backstabber, finally joins us. We finally get her, which is good. Yay. She's actually really good. I just don't use her currently in the route. Well, I will later, actually. She actually has found a use. But she's going to teach us one final skill. Hooray, we now have an up smash. Let's go. This up smash is super valuable for breaking things over our head, of course. As a good up smash should be. I think we now have enough moves to join Smash. Have all the moves required, right? Got a down B, an up B. I think the only thing we don't really have is a good grab, but you know, we got people in our party that do. So let's start that meme right now. Ajna for Smash, I guess. I don't know. I'm kidding. Much as I love Smash, I would not want to see that. Right, this is the trolliest jump of the game, and yep, we got hacked. Getting that, the spikes are so weird there. Their hit location detection is like the worst, and if you actually do mess that like I did, you have the potential of falling a very far amount of ways, and you really just don't want to. Oops. That's right. We didn't mess it up too bad. We are messing this up. All right, so we have now completed our circuit to the back and back into the factory. This is where all the trouble's brewing from, apparently. So we've got to come here and try to figure out how best to clean this up. By the way, the peasants did revolt on Queen Mary, and they basically threw. Well, the slime actually reached out and grabbed her. So the slime has a mind of its own, and that's interesting. Sorry, just focused on that platform. It was really weird what happened there. It kind of threw me off for a second. Out of here, slime board. I have to be very careful. If I get into fights here, these things, other than the fact that I would just obviously reload checkpoint, like those slime guys will do damage. I never seem to get my cycles here. It's fine. At least we got past the lava. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up here so I can get up here. This opens the smokestack. There are alternate ways to do this, but I find that this is the fastest way because getting back out is so much quicker than the alternative of not doing this. We find that Mary has now been basically absorbed into the slime. Hello, Slime Queen. And again, touching her physically is bad. I cannot remember if I'm loaded on Latigo or not. I want to say I am not, so I'm not going to chance it. We're just going to do this the proper way. We're just going to set up here. That was rude. I'm basically just pushing her into a next phase where we're about to learn yet another valuable overworld skill. It should trigger it. No, she's being really resistant. This will, though. There we go. Finally got her into this. So we're like, we can't do any damage. Old days of this speed run, we used to avoid fighting her in the actual fight. We would just overworld combo her. Well, the runners prior to my coming aboard, we used to just overworld combo her. You get infinite combo and kill her that way. So you actually have the ability to kill these monsters out of battle. Will you attack me proper? Thank you. Good lord, that took an act of Congress to be able to get into the fight the way I wanted to. Oh, I just burned a 3. Dang it. The timing of that's so bad. We'll correct this by setting up, and then we'll just get a quick 3, hopefully. It's just a little bit faster because of Latigo's damage output to just do this in battle instead of out of battle. Just comboing her and air comboing her all the way until she died just took time. I hope Ajna doesn't die here. I just realized that my health is very low. Please don't kill. Okay, woo. That was scary. No! Okay, don't kill Ajna. That's all I'm asking. This is a little monk S, actually. And it's all my fault for bad performance here. Oh my god, just die. Okay, I'm getting out of that fight before I completely have to start over with it. Whew. Okay, that was a little close. We had 1 HP left on Ajna there. And if she died, well, her dying, I guess, isn't the problem. But still, that was scary, and I just didn't want to deal with it. Let's go. This is why I say it's faster doing it my way, because this pathway opens up. We're back where the Moloch was, and then all you have to do is a quick little this, that, and oh, I missed. Darn it. Just trying to swag it up and didn't quite work. Oh well. Alright, we have righted all the wrongs. Mary has learned the lesson of her ways. She will now go into an extensive environmental cleaning project to clean up all the slime. That's her first task. In the meantime, we have completed everything we needed to do. It's time for us to go take on our final objective, which of course is saving the world from Kala. Except I'm very bad at it. Both of them. This one, damage taken. Hi, Launchy. Bye, Launchy. Still doing the good dog things by protecting Lon. Even though Lon doesn't really exist that much anymore. Kind of landed on it earlier. Our bad. All right, here we go. Thank you, 8-Bit, for the encouragement. Dar, can I get a D in chat for Dar? He's still dead. Unfortunate. He was the bad boy that tried to be good. Didn't quite ever get liked by anybody, but it's okay. Oh, wow, the big whiff. Nice one. Thank you for the D's. Paying respects to Dar. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right, here we go. So. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this like this. I'm doing this a silly way. I'm kind of relaxed in the fact that we're getting close to the end of this run. We have a lot more platforming to go, however, and I'm getting lax too soon. So I'm making silly platforming mistakes, but it's fine. It's nothing too terrible, nothing we can't get around here. Just the fact that we've got new abilities, I'm excited. Very happy that you guys have allowed me to display this wonderful run, and now I'm gonna heck up everything and make it look kind of bad. Like, not to keep that going. All right. So this is very similar stuff, right? We're just kind of going back. We're seeing all the stuff that we've done before. We're just able to do a little bit quicker, which is nice. I am actually going to just circumvent that whole switch. Don't care. I have enough like hops to get vertical here. don't really care about these switches at all. We can just, excuse me, pardon me. Oh, coming through. Oh, shoot. That's bad. Okay, well, I hecked that up. No problem. Let's do this stuff. Oh my gosh, I did it again. Save the second time. Whatever. Don't need that really. Just kidding, game. Fooled you. Thought I was going to use that switch. I think I'm a little spacing out here. I'm making some silly platforming mistakes. It's all good though. I'm just getting it out of my system now because this is where the platforming really kicks up a notch. So we just have a lot of same old cutscenes. Not really same. Like, we remember everything that's going on. Ashton's like, yeah, this is where it all started. This is my fault. But, you know, I think we've done some good. And let's go finish this kind of stuff. A little lamenting, remembering. All right. Now it's going to start. Yeah, it's going to start now, right? Heck yeah. All right, so we got a little bit of Samara 2 to go through. Again, because, you know, it is what it is, we're able to kind of skip some certain things. I had to actually think about what I was doing there for a second, which is not good. But we get to make this look like even a little bit more impressive when done correctly. As soon as I get my hands to actually function. Oh my goodness, what? Yeah, I think I will. I think I will, 8-bit. It looked like that was still a good way of saving like a minute. I'm feeling pretty confident that I've got kind of what I need to do there, so we'll see. I mean, it may go well, it may not. But yeah, Cat Squad, S Squad, I think we'll go with that. All right, so again, this is where we get to kind of skip some of the intended platforming, right? It's just, we got these new abilities. We're able to use those, put those to good use. As long as I don't heck this up too bad. Good. I had to think about what I needed to do hand-wise. Perfect. No. And they gave us these nice little shortcuts and the abilities to use them now that we have the ability to do some of this stuff. So we're having a little bit of fun here with our platforming. Because who needs your silly like flowers on spikes? Who needs to hit switches? Who needs any of that stuff? That's like so last time Samara 2 stuff. That's just no fun anymore. So let's have hello. Got the wall there when I didn't want to. Long reach. Hate it. Let's go. A double long reach. Let's go. You spend a lot less time on the ground on this climb than any prior one. It's kind of fun. This is why I love the platforming in this game, just because it opens up so much. Allows you to do so many cool things and just, hey, let's impress your friends. Watch this little swag move or whatever. See you, big boy. Also new monsters. Don't care. Apologies if I go quiet here and there. It's just kind of focusing on some of the intricate stuff that I got to do here. It's a lot of inputs going out to be able to do all of this stuff. I usually have a controller cam on my stream when I'm doing these runs, just so people can see exactly what the hell's going on with some of this. Get out of here. All right, so we just passed where Kala 2 was, and we still haven't found her. So of course, as usual, she's deeper in her domain. Go figure. Typical final bosses hiding out in their layers. They're scared to face us at this point. Also, hype music. All right, we are in a good, fun place. Now, I talk about how the platforming ramps up here. This is where it really takes off. And it feels so satisfying to get a lot of the stuff that happens within this particular stuff here. Some of this stuff I can skip occasional cycles. Other times, maybe not. It comes down to how good I am. Ooh, man, that axe swing saved me. You can actually go around the right here, but it's really difficult. And I think it does save a little bit of time, I think, but it's really hard to... Oh my goodness. Yep, there's the punish. If I make one mistake, I skip a lot of checkpoints. I actually skipped 2 platforming wise for what I was doing in my route there. And I made a mistake and an error, and it's where I take a time loss for taking a fall. It is what it is. We just shrug it off. We try again. I don't know why I have so much trouble with these freaking blocks, but whatever. Let's go. It's a very beautiful place. There's a lot going on platforming wise here. Like these particular blocks that I'm on right there, they have kind of a wind mechanic. It's actually pushing you forward or working against your momentum. Like it'll try to hold you back. Makes things a little bit more interesting to try to set up whenever you're trying to go fast here. Most of it we ignore because by the time that it tries to kick in and thinks it has a way of stopping me, pretty much on to the next platform. And again, like I say, we're spending a lot of time in the air here, just comboing off of these blocks. There we go. All right, so we are almost there. I don't know if Latigo was set up. I don't think he was, but I don't know why I'm setting him up. Now I think about it, there's really no point in me doing so. Because the party has indeed changed here at the end, as of yesterday. So really, all I'm doing is trying to build up some itty, and we've just done that. So now I'm going to do a party swap, I think, before I do this, just because that way it's out of the way and I remember to do it. All right, we want Kompan in, Tungar in, and Kadira in. Good stuff. AKA the Cat Squad. All right, last little bit of platforming here. This is a little tricky. These platforms are smaller than they look when you're trying to land on top of them, and it will cost me if I fall. But we made it. No biggie. Easy peasy every time. There's the fast route up to Samaro 3. We are now coming up to our final stretch here. Hello, Dar. You're not dead. We thought you were dead. Well, he's something. Look at that itty regeneration. This is why this party is so good. And thank you for recharging me a little bit, Gar. I appreciate it. Wow, still not up in 2 turns, huh? Let's go. Goodbye, Dar. Hello, Dad. Oh, that was a 2. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I didn't know she actually did that. That's cool. Okay, I like that 2 attack, honestly. I'd never seen it last longer than just the first. I forgot that he's blocking us. My fault. That's fixed. That's easily remedied. Bye, Dad. Hello, Ravanavar. Shoutouts to Teeth Feet, by the way.
Still holding on to...
Yeah, we kind of caught Kala after she got out of the shower, I think. I'm not sure. she's like, yo, you ready to be absorbed? And we're like, no, I got one more magical girl transformation. I'm here to kick your butt. We're gonna do that. But first,
I'm ready.
Ajna Spinball. Little Ajna Spinball. So we're now using our new ability called Divine Wheel, which actually at the cost of our own life, we're able to fly. And yes, you'll notice that my HP bar under Ajna is going down every time I do this. It's a kind of a double-edged sword. It's great for platforming, but risky if you get into a fight because you don't get healed instantly in most cases, unless it's like a mandatory cutscene kind of thing, after you've done this stuff. So you can go into fights with like 0 health and it's not good. After we get a little bit of things, we're here to kind of dish out some revenge. Take down this queen, keep her from like resetting the world and killing everybody. But we gotta get to her first. She's playing a little hard to get. And blocking these, kind of imperative, but not quite 100% necessary. I just want to air combo her, and after a certain amount of damage you deal, she basically goes into this particular phase. So again, Cat Swat here does about a little bit more damage, plus the itty regeneration is kind of nice. I think I wanted to build to a 5, but that's fine. We won't do that. I'll just get... Oh, I thought I was going to get 2 3s in. Might have been able to do that if I had paid a little bit more attention. Let's go. Ouch. Wow, I can't get back to the ground to block in time. It's unfortunate. So she's trying to basically kind of get us, you know, sucked in and become part of her, rejoin so she can remake the world. We're not exactly the reason that she's not able to do so, but she really would like us to be there when she does. Ajna's level 7, boom. And you can see we're faring a lot better than our parents at the beginning of the run. We're definitely doing a lot more damage, just put it that way.
Cheap shot.
I'm gonna eat a lot of fists in the air. My ability at air blocking is not as good as some others, unfortunately. It's not a big deal as long as I don't die in any of the other phases, we'll be okay. Oh, the mashing. So we're just gonna immediately open up with a nice 7 here. That's a casual, almost 1.5 mil, by the way, from Ajna. That's not gonna be enough. Get another 3 in while I can. Every little bit of damage helps. Trying to reduce the amount of phases. It looks like I'm gonna get a 4 again. Which is unfortunate. It's because I didn't open up the way I was supposed to. Hey, we blocked one. Oh my goodness, he can do it. At that time, because I was still in cooldown from the ground pound. Fine, she's gonna be done soon. That's a good question, chap, have to admit. Yes. I'm not sure what insurance would cover better. Alright, so... Yes, we are following the RPG trope. We're trying to take down a god from destroying the world. She's not happy with us, but we have to go hide in a safe place before she just resets the fight. Stand out there too long, she will reset the fight and you start all over where we just were. But it's time to say goodbye to everyone that we know and love. Everyone that we know and love. It's now no longer their fight. We just need to finish this off. So let's go destroy her head cannon. And here we go into the final stretch. So she's like, "You're finally going to join me, right?" And Ajna's like, "Yes, but it's going to be on my terms." And Kala's like, "No, 108 health bars, my friends. Have fun with this. Thing is she's actually using her health to attack me, so it's more about the defense being the best offense. It's way early again. So bad at that one. So all I have to do is basically keep her from killing me. Perfect blocking comes in handy here because you take less damage. It's demonstrated by that last one that I missed. GG. Okay. Whew. The mountains. That was kind of scary because that's like a one shot. You'll notice we don't have any of our powers. We do have our axe. That's about it. Good. All right, we're halfway there. 64 to go. A little more dialogue, but we don't care. Here comes Kala's. There we go. Easily deflected, no problem. I miss any one of these, I'm basically dead, by the way. And then we basically have to start this phase all over again at 64 HP. All right, time's coming up. Get ready. We've done it. We've drained her. She's out of power. She's out of will. And time will be in 3, 2, 1, time. Final input. Good stuff.
GG.
Thank you.
Very much. Yeah, GG. It was a great run there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I made a lot of mistakes, but nothing too detrimental. I'm happy with this. I think a 229 sub 230 is very solid, especially with all the patch changes. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. That's the more important thing. I cannot skip this cutscene, by the way, so I highly recommend you play it to get the context of the conversation. It does spoil some things, but it doesn't spoil too much, so just keep that in mind. But I know you guys are a little behind schedule. I'm glad I could give you 10 minutes back. I'll make this quick. Please run Indivisible. Find us on the Discord. We're linked in the SRC page. This game definitely needs more runners and more mindsets, I think, coming in. We're doing the best we can, but we'd welcome you for sure. Thank you, Midwest Speed Fest, for having me. I've been wanting to run for you guys for a long time, and I'm glad you gave me an opportunity, so thank you for that. I hope to do so again in the future.
Thank you, Nori.
So you see why the world
Play Indivisible, everyone. That's going to be my final little bit.
They're my doubts because